Recording has started.
Welcome to the Premier Top 4 podcast. The Premier Top 4 podcast. Today we are focusing on the United match and then the Tottenham versus Liverpool. The 9 goal trailer that happened. And then United continually disgracing our podcast. Very soon we might kick them out because they are not representing us well. This podcast is meant to represent the top 4 teams, the traditional top 4 teams, but United is not really being a traditional top 4 anymore. But for the Ghanaians who watch us, Samenyo scored. He was on the score sheet again. This guy is proving very good this season. So we are going to talk about all that this season and in this particular episode. If you are a Chelsea fan, maybe click right here in the link up here. There's going to be your video as well. There was a reaction to the Everton versus Chelsea as well on the page. So welcome. Let's go right into it. My name is Chris as usual, and then he's Coach Michael. Yeah. Today he said he's not representing United because the team is disgracing him. But whether he likes it or not, he's still a United fan. Okay, so let's start with the United match because it's so bad that it will be depressing to the United fans. So let's walk right through it as fast as possible and talk about the Liverpool one so that they will feel okay. Okay, so coach, my first question is that what is happening at United?
Yeah, so we have so many situations happening at this very moment. We have the Rashford situation. We have the boys trying to understand the new formation. Even if I totally believe that we are playing good football at this time, and sometime during games, I begin to think of what people like Jose Mourinho will say that do you want to play fantastic football or you want to deliver results? On that hand, as much as we were not happy, we were getting results out of shabby performances. But now it looks like we are trying to click and we are not getting results. So, and it's actually a very bad record for the coach to have lost 4 matches out of 6 in this time because winning brings confidence. And to top it up, we now have the Rashford situation. Just 2 weeks ago, we had the Rashford Garnacho situation, but Garnacho seemed to have come to his senses and come back to training and trying to fight for a place in the team, while Rashford has gone the other way around. As a former footballer, these things have a way of affecting the team psychologically. I've also listened to pundits, who says, "Oh, maybe our performances are not good enough. We might be sold in January," and people are just there playing and trying to market themselves rather than deliver results for the team. So, like, it's a mess everywhere, and it's not an excuse because, like Amori has said, we need to deliver results irrelevant or irrespective of the situation around the club. So, like, it's a crazy situation to find ourselves right in, but it's a mess.
Okay, so in your opinion, for me, I have an opinion. I think they shouldn't have brought in Amorim now. That's what I felt. I felt they should have continued with Van Nistelrooy till the end of the season. And that's what Amorim wanted anyway.
I share your
So that
thoughts.
after
I
the
share your
season, he
thoughts.
will
Yeah,
come in.
for
That's
some
okay.
reason, maybe because I'm pro Van Nistelrooy. Um, it's always good. It's usually very difficult coming in the middle of the season, especially for a team that is probably like inheriting your stuff. I was listening to Talk Sports 2 days ago, and the ESPN guy said something about it's like being a chef coming to use the utensils of the other chef. People like their knife either scrubby, whether cracky, and all that stuff. But the ingredient and the spices in the kitchen right now may not deliver the kind of dish. So maybe just so that the ETH era would have ended. But I think the management were in a hurry to get Amorim, which is not bad. But like, he's come in a situation where there are a lot of cleanup currently done by management, and I think it's affecting the team as well. So you are very, very right in your opinion. I would say we share the same opinion, but it is what it is and where we
Yeah.
are at the moment.
Because Usually, we know that usually when new managers come, there's this new manager bounce, and there are so many wins, and you see a slump down the line. But with this one, there was no bounce. There was no bounce. And okay, coach, let me ask you this question. Today, this match is a mess. So it's not just about the match. I want us to talk about the whole United situation. So tactically, have you seen anything that suggests that Morim is very tactically adept, like we were all expecting him to be?
Yeah. So tactically, for surprisingly, I will tell you that I'm not a fan of 3-4-3, but the way he has applied it with the team, it's become like a formation that I think I would like to adapt, especially in transition. So going forward, we are very, very good, but coming backward, the team has been very shabby. Creating lots of gaps. And there's no the same intensity we show going forward. We don't apply that coming backward. So clearly, apart from myself, everywhere you go to, you see that there's an identity with the team, which we did not have. People go into games and don't know what to expect from Manchester United. In a way, it was part of our problems today because Bournemouth could determine our next line of action. And that is what happens when you have identity. But it's now more easier because the interpretation of the formation to the players is robotic. There's no technicality, there's no innovation in the application of the formation. So Amarin's identity is showing in the team, but clearly the players' translation of this formation in all the games have not really, really applied. And you've heard Pundit also talk about coming in during preseason. So a lot we have short time to train. We have matches coming back to back. So a lot of some of the ideas are actually even tried during matches. So I give you an example of the Man City victory, you realize that those passes that led to the goals, Martinez tried it 3 times before we got the Ahmad's own. If you even watch from some of the clips, the coach actually told Ahmad to start running. It was like, Ahmad, trying to, like, he already knew what Martinez was going to do because they might have communicated that during the halftime for Ahmad to make that run and that pass to come. And Martinez had tried it before. So the identity is there, but everybody will agree with me that the application is poor and the players trying to understand it. So I give an example of the defense. There's the problem of the defenders trying to know when to go forward to maybe create a high line and when to come back. At what point will the wingers go and the midfielders stay back? So during the counter attack, you realize that the three central defenders are in isolation. So tactically, I would say I kudos to Amorim. It is clear what he's trying to achieve. Some players have bought into the system, while some are still looking leggy. I will take this opportunity to say something. When we talk about the players adapting to the formation, personally, I'm not in the club, but personally, I what I perceive is that the team are not up to par, so they've been lazy for 2 years, and they are catching their breath trying to meet up with the intensity that is required by the coach. You can see Lindelof just had run out for 15-20 minutes and he already has an hamstring. So as a coach, I know that there's a level of physicality, there's a level that you will get to that you start having injuries that like that. Nobody has kicked you, you've not jumped for a contest or anything. And it shows everywhere. Look at our corner kicks. We've been receiving conceding goals with set pieces. Players cannot jump. They are not contesting for the ball. So this is just the all-round. This is not the coach anymore. These are simple things that are costing us. So when you say the tactically, I said I think
No,
Amarim is
coach,
doing a good job.
should I shock you, coach?
Yes,
Should I shock you? When you were speaking, I was feeling like you were talking about Chelsea last season under Pochettino. I serious. Do you know why I'm saying that? Amorim ball and Pochettino's kind of football are similar, not in formation, but in application of
okay.
play. It's about intensity, your ability to run, and like more like imposing yourself on the
Yeah,
team. It's like all about your intensity and running all over the place and all that. And for some reason, last season we were just conceding in corners
Fantastic. Because
everywhere
everybody is
to the
going
extent
and
that
there's a gap. You
the
are very
board,
correct.
yes, and the board had to actually go for Brentford's set piece coach, and he said he didn't want it, but they forced it on him. And now all of a sudden, as Chelsea started playing positional football, things have changed. Now the players are not getting hurt as we were by this
We
time
had
last
like six
season. We had
injuries.
so many injuries. It was crazy, and we couldn't even have a consistent back four. And Amorim is doing the same thing, keeps changing the back line as well. I don't know what is going on, and if it continues like this, I'm
No,
not.
no, but
I
but
don't
but
know.
but
I
Chris,
don't know
it's not
how.
going to continue. And I tell you why. First, if you remember in one of the interviews with Amorim, they asked him that the rotation, what is the reason for the rotation? Is it tactical or what? And he brought something to my day. Me with my new role in football now, when you are a player, there are certain things that coaches make decisions you will not agree with. But now, as a coach, I've realized certain things and I'm like, you can't be in the match squad not because I hate you, but because you've not met the criteria from myself and the other back team staff. So when you say your fitness coach says, you know what, if you want this guy to give you 100% capacity, he can play 60 minutes. It's not left to you to say, you know what, let him run the remaining 30 minutes empty. So he has said that most of the players with their current fitness can only play 70 minutes. So if you want to get the best, at least people running with the energy levels he requires, it means they cannot play 90 minutes because he is there to make the decision. And if he allows some players, so I give an example of the game before Man City where we lost. If you realize there was a question of, oh, he should have removed Bruno. Was he thinking of the match ahead? Was he thinking? No. At the time, Bruno was not delivering in that game. So clearly his tank was empty. The only problem is that the person he brought came in empty as well. So it almost looked like, oh, well, we'd rather have played Bruno in his empty tank because he has physical influence on the game than bringing somebody that clearly did not contribute and which was supposed to contribute. So this is how football analytics run. You get. And everybody have been, when it comes to Manchester United, it's about the squad and the mentality and, over the years, if you see, we've been changing coaches since a player. When you talk about rebuilding, Chelsea is actually the team looking like a team that is rebuilding. The purchases from last year, what the team is trying to achieve. The board has even said, oh, this is long term. Don't worry, we're not in a hurry. The fans of Manchester United, including myself, we are not that patient. However, we expect that with the high wages we are paying and the brand that you represent, you should deliver. And this is what part of the issues that in the press we're talking about Marcus Rashford. Oh, we want him to be scoring every week. Bro, you're paid £325,000 every week. What should we expect? If you were paid 80K, we won't worry. I heard a pundit also saying McTominay was paid £80,000 a week and he was working his socks off. And you're paid that amount and you're just there chilling. We have to make judgment because we know what you are earning and you've said you are worth this amount. You need to deliver every week. So clearly, I'll just also add to what you've said. When you talk about Posh probably just came there to deliver what he needed to do in his project. Sad that he had to go based on certain conditions. But looking from where he was now and now, you've seen that what your coach did, an advantage of coming during preseason, was to scrap people that would mess things up like Sterling. Emotionally, as fans were like, oh no, Sterling, why Sterling? Oh, look at the situations. But he had to let go of Sterling and say, this guy does not fit in my team. And you see, last season, Sterling, to you, the fans, was like, if Sterling was not playing, then the game is not, why is Sterling not playing? But clearly, a coach has come to say, based on what I want to achieve, I can't get this guy on the game. I'd rather have Sancho. And if you also add to that, you see that Sterling, in terms of wages too, was high. So it's almost like the same Rashford situation. So sometimes the coach has to now come and say, oh, Pochettino did well. He grouped these players, but let me take it a step higher to say, you know what, we need to weed some of these roots out and get some people playing. We've been on this podcast talking about Mudiak,
Okay, coach.
Modric, and
I
the
know you.
roles
If
of
I leave
everybody
you,
in
you talk.
Chelsea team.
Relax,
But you can see now that Modric
coach.
has woken
Relax,
up to
coach.
his responsibility and is delivering results. And that's why we are taking
Coach.
urine tests
Coach, relax. Coach, relax. I know it's your team, so but relax. My question is that why is it that every new coach that comes to United has a problem with at least one player? Because with Poch, with our coach, he was straightforward. He told him in a one-on-one situation that you are not in my plans, and he knew that he was not. If to the extent that he knew even before a match, and then his team was the ones that posted even before a match. I think we had one big match like that. People posted before the match because they knew that he was not going to play because he has told him directly that I don't want you. I don't want Chilwell. Chilwell was the assistant captain. I don't want you. So there's no personal grudge or anything. But with yours, it's like there's this always this issue with if a new coach comes in, and there's always this issue with one player, and there's a whole lot of drama, and and your coach is not even being straightforward like Maresca, where he's saying that if he works hard, he's going to start and all that. Maybe you don't want him. Just say it like Marisa came to the media and told them he's not a kind of winger I like. That's it. He shut down all the rumors and that was it.
Yeah, so let me
Full
tell you the
stop. But
difference.
with your coach, he's saying he has to work hard and all. But the guy is saying he wants to leave. So what,
Chris, let me tell you the
it's going to
difference.
cause all these drama.
I will tell you the difference by asking this question. If Maresca coming into Chelsea had said to the press, I don't want Rhys James to play in that Chelsea team, what would be your reaction? You cannot compare Rhys James to Chilwell. There would be a different reaction. You understand?
Not just you forgotten how important Chilwell was.
No, but in terms of personality, sometimes it's
If
not about importance,
Maresca
it's about personality.
No, no. If Maresca look right now, if Maresca says he doesn't want James anymore because of his injuries, because he's just disrupting his team, every Chelsea fan will support him. We don't like it, but we support now. Why? He's earned our trust
Fantastic. I
as
like
a
that.
coach.
I like what
He's
you
earned our
said. He
trust
has
now.
earned the trust.
Yes,
But before you earn the trust, there are
yes.
some things that is unforgivable. So let's go back to the issues that you were talking about. So let's go back to the issues. The challenge that we are using in comparison with Chelsea, the challenges our coaches have had compared to what Chelsea have had is different. A coach has come and he's direct about his intention. He's come with a plan. Perfect. With ETH, he came to a club, he started working with players, and he said some players are not training properly. All you need to do as a player is to maybe go behind and tell the coach, you say, you know what? Um, you have to come out with a reaction. Oh, the coach said we are not training very well. Prove against all odds that you are training very well. Not go to the press. It's embarrassing. It's actually a problem. It's a problem to the coach. It's a problem to the team. It's a problem to the club in general. And that is the route. That is the route that Rashford has decided to go through, which is bad. I wrote on Twitter, I wrote on YouTube, Rashford is a good lad. We love him. But, there are certain decisions that you don't make. You've gone for a charity
He's a
session and you
national
grant an
hero.
interview
He's a
and you
national
say all
hero.
that stuff. You've not told the coach.
He's
You've
a
not told
national
your
hero.
players. No, I'm not. We're talking about the issues. These are the questions you ask. That what are the
Yes,
issues?
I'm reminding you the kind of personality he is. He works with politicians and the big men in the country. He's
So
not a
creating
small
a
guy. He
scandal,
can't
and
be
that's why at the
come here and
beginning of
treat
the
him like
podcast I
something.
said that all these are distractions to the team because you've seen two situations. Yourself and Garnacho were in a situation. They've dragged you guys. Garnacho has done the right thing by coming back to training, scrapping everything and walking his socks out of, and you've gone to the press. Come on now. Like I said, if you are just a fan, it's different. I've been a footballer before. I would not do that. If I were a coach, I would not tolerate it. The same thing with Sancho. His approach was bad, and I think ETH too, his approach was bad because there's what they call player management. Some of us are bosses in organizations. You are also a boss in an organization. If your employer or your child do certain things, there's a way to call them in order. Let me give an example of with the history we are always talking of as a club. Do you think players did not have issue with Ferguson? Come on, lad, they are not playing next week. But the lad comes to training, do his work, and in the lineup, the whole team says, oh, Beckham is not going to play. Beckham does not play 2 weeks, and the next day, Beckham starts the lineup. The same Beckham he has issues with. In Beckham's interview, he said, Ferguson told him after a situation that you will never play for this club again. But he did not play. He played. That's father-son relationship. Sometimes you need to call people to order. But telling him you cannot eat with the team, some of these things are extreme. So I personally think that ETH allowed his ego overcome that situation because whatever you say Sancho is a talent. It's just that Man U as a whole in the
So
last three
why is the
years.
problem happening
Sorry.
again? That's the issue. Why is it happening
You should
again
know. That's
with
what
a
I'm saying.
different
So
coach,
now
a different
let's
temperament?
also
What is
compare with
going on?
Maresca. Amarin has come and said, "This is the way I want us to play." And the so-called big boys are saying, "Come on, you want me to run 15 kilometers? I've been running 9 kilometers and I've been scoring goals. I can't run 15 kilometers in training. Are you going to stand it? No, this is my style. If you need to play every training, you need to run 15 kilometers." So the board has brought a coach
So
to
then,
excel, but some players want to block that success. So you need to act early.
so 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 um so Michael, my question is the board misprofiling the players? Because with Chelsea, the reason why they went for Maresca was that they realized that the players would suit that kind of football, not Poch. Like they admitted that they made a mistake in bringing Poch in. People were thinking about results because we were doing well at the end of the season. Because beginning of this year, we've
Yeah,
been
fantastic.
excellent, even
Yeah.
under Poch. It's not just about Maresca. So the board realized that the players they have and the kind of football that Poch is playing is a mismatch. So it's like they are just to the extent that Conor Gallagher was our best player last season. People were talking about Palmer, and all that, but Gallagher was the engine of the team. Why? He's a runner. He will be running helter skelter everywhere. He has the energy, everything. Because, but they realized that apart from Gallagher, whom they wanted to be shape anyway, the players that we have, even Palmer doesn't run, so he was left there to do whatever he wanted to do. They were not fitting the Poch style. So they wanted a positional manager that comes with tactics and be in certain positions, and that way you don't have to run as much, but then you'll be covering the whole pitch and all that, dominating the play. And then when they went for that, it worked. But how do you have these players that you have, and then you go in for this manager and not even give him the chance to even go for the players that he wants to work with? And this is why the problem is happening again. So I think your board, that's where the problem starts from. It starts from the board. Because we, the fans, we didn't want Maresca. We didn't. Clearly, they saw something we didn't see. So that's why I'm thinking that the problem might start from the top and it's seeping down to the players and it's affecting the manager. It's an innocent man. He should have stayed where he was. He was scoring in United, Man City, and everybody. He was doing good and he decided to come here. So do you think, my question is that do you think it will get better with this
you
situation?
you you brought a very 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 important statement. While you were even speaking, I was thinking of this question. We've just gotten rid of Dan Ashworth, who was less than 6 months in the club, and sometimes you now begin to wonder, the board themselves, do they know football, or they've just come to do business? And that's the question I wanted to ask you. Chelsea, do you know what it means for a board or a management to say, Posh is good, but it looks like with these boys, he can't handle them. Let's get somebody that can handle them. That is because that they have a technical team, whether within or outside, that's actually saying this is the way to go. Now, with Manchester United, we've been talking about the total sweep. You know, on and off the field, we've been having issues. Just last week, we are talking about Christmas voucher. The club is in crisis, losing games, and staff are complaining about Christmas voucher. Like, you can see how crazy things are going on with the club. We've lost close to 200 employees. All those things have fundamental impact because players come into training, they saw this guy last week or they've played with these guys for donkey years and these guys are no longer in the club. All these things have a way of shaping out. Personally, it will get better if Ineos are serious about, personally for me, this pay cut that we are screaming, it should go round. Maybe we become serious because, like we're talking about Rashford. Come on, if you leave the club, ESPN guy said he's doing us a favor. We are not the. Will he even get a better club, better than Manchester United to play for? Except he goes to Arab in terms of money, but in terms of standard, we might not be doing well now. But the badge is one of the greatest badges in world football. So, which club you want to go and play football for? Maybe PSG.
If he is willing to take a pay cut,
And
Chelsea
this
is
is what we are
available,
saying.
10 million pounds. You
This is
take
what we are
him.
saying.
10 million pounds. You take
And you think
him.
he will do well in
100K.
Chelsea with this attitude? Right now, the only team that can sign him, probably
Oh,
out
of
of
course.
pity, will be Tottenham because they are looking for a Harry Kane replacement. And they have yes, and they have issue with Timo Werner. That's the only team that we're thinking right now, just to maybe complete the attack.
Oh, just you take him for 10 million and 100K a month with bonuses. I think people are not talking about this thing about Chelsea, where Chelsea now have a base salary and bonuses. People are not talking about it. I don't know why. It's not popular everywhere. It's like we are the only team in the league now that has a base salary and bonuses based on performance. And all of a sudden, the players are performing
And it's a young team, so it's
because
easier
the
to
more they
implement
win.
with a young team. When you with experienced guys and with their PRs and causing us messes, so it's when you're working with hungry
No, what
players.
what Chelsea has done, what Chelsea has done, that the board has been ruthless. If you don't want the contract, you are out. We will sell you. We don't care. It doesn't matter who you are. The board will sack you. They will let you go, like what they did to Sterling, what they did to Conor Gallagher, what they did to Mount, Havertz. Look at all these players. They
That's
let
the
them
point
go
I'm
because
saying.
they
This
didn't
is the
want the
point
new
I'm saying. So
contract
when you
system
think
that they
you're a
wanted.
world class footballer, these kind of things don't work for you. But when you're working with boys that are hungry, ready to fight for the badge, ready to prove themselves, before you can ask for good pay, you have to prove yourself. And if the bonus system, and even in our place of work, these are some of the things that work. If you want to have a star employee, you say if you get an A appraisal, you get so A B C D. Why I wouldn't be surprised that in this same system they'll probably say if you win the league, everybody gets 500k more. Why shouldn't we struggle to win the league if we're going to get 500k more? It's just about psychology. It's what we call reinforcement, positive reinforcement. We are all paid 100k, but for each match we win, we get 3 points, we get 30,000. For each match we lose, we don't get. So if I'm on 100 and I want to make sure I get 30,000 every week, football is every week. Why don't I deliver the result so that at least we now increase our pay to? If we win the FA Cup, there's this bonus. So you see the fight across. Even the guy on the bench, the day he comes to play, he knows this is the day I need to get my 30,000. In fact, I need to work in the training ground to make the team because if I don't play, I don't get a bonus. So everybody's working hard. So if Ineos really mean football business, whatever they are doing at the management, they should take it to the field and give Amorim full bank. After all, they forced, in fact, done the payout clause and everything to get into the club. I think they should support him. Now the problem is how much losses are we ready to take? Because to get rid of Casemiro, as bad as it is, I don't know why I'm emotionally attached. I don't want him to go. To get rid of the guy that they want to get, it will be difficult because these guys are on heavy contracts, man. There are some mad mental contracts.
No, they should do what Chelsea has done. Chelsea has the blueprint now. Go and speak to the Saudis. They will come for your boys. That's the thing. Go and speak to
And
the
make money,
Saudis.
yeah. So
No, you see,
it's
these
crazy, bro. It's
businessmen.
crazy.
Speak to the Saudis. They'll come. Casemiro and all those people, they'll go. Big, big monies, big salaries, and they'll be happy. Everyone win-win. It's good. It's good that we've dissected the United issue, and today it's not just about the tactics, because United issues goes beyond tactics. It's not just tactics. So I think whatever you've said and whatever I've said, if you're a United fan, you relate to it, you understand, you feel that the point that we are trying to do. Because United is now just not on the field, just like City. It's not just on the field. So many things are going on, and they are losing everywhere. And sometimes it goes beyond standing here and making a run, and there are issues like that causes all these things. So it's good that we've talked about it. So, but let's talk about this annoying Liverpool team. These guys are taking the league by storm. It's crazy now. They just ended a 9 goal trailer. Coach, 9 goals, 6 like it's just amazing now. Like, what is going on? What's
So
going on
so for,
with Liverpool,
if there's
coach?
anything that's interesting about this season, we've talked about Maresca, we're now talking about Amorim, and we're talking about Anslot now. Like I'm looking at that thing, I'm like, okay, Manchester United wants to buy players. Will Anslot buy players? What else will he be looking for? Because clearly he's inherited a team that has talent. They did badly at the end of the season with Johan Klopp. I hope they don't fall apart to pieces at the end of this season because, being on top is easy, but maintaining being there, we know the Premier League is difficult. We've seen Arsenal fall apart a lot of times. Now they are on fire. The only difference, which I always say with every team in football, is do the players have the character to remain up there? Well, unfortunately for us, other fans, Liverpool players know what it means to win the league. They know what it means to fight for the top four. And I'm sure the players like Mo Salah have not won the medal for a few years now. If they decide to want to leave the club, which I'm seeing the body language and Mo Salah may leave, this will just be the right time to live on a grand style, win the Premier League and maybe anything that comes with it, because they are doing well in the Champions League as well. Win the Premier League, win the Champions League.
They are on top of the Champions League, on
Yeah,
top of the
if they
Premier League.
can,
They are
yeah,
on top
if
of
they
the
can,
team
and
now.
perfect way to just go to Saudi and collect the monies and everything. But interestingly, what
He's a Muslim,
yeah, what's
so it's
interesting
not a
about today's
problem.
game is the opponent. They've not just won the game 6-3, they've won an opponent that looks like they know what they are doing. They know how they've been getting breakthroughs, also getting high scoring results. On this day, they've been on the other side of the hammer, them being nailed to the ground. So I think Liverpool, and before the beginning of the show, we're talking about with all these goals, nobody got a hat trick. It also shows how goals can come from anywhere in the team. You hear this kind of result and you hear, oh, a player scored 4 goals. You're like, oh, this is the key man. Players are coming from left, right, and center. So it shows that the character, the team is ready to fight, and Slot is getting his mojo in easily. And it will be interesting but sad also to us that a coach comes in his first season winning the league. I think it's a slap on us. But for the players, we will not write them off, that they know what they are doing, they are cooperating with the coach, and they are doing everything quietly. With all the scandals, we've not heard anything about Liverpool in the press. We don't hear any scandal about the players. The coach is not
I
speaking more
think
than
there is
himself.
something about Liverpool though
The
that
club is just quiet.
let's not forget. No, it's not really quiet with Liverpool. It's because maybe you're a Liverpool, you're a
Okay, maybe you
United
should
fan.
tell us something we
They
don't
are
know.
having the contract issue. The contract issue is a big problem for Liverpool now, because every single time Salah does well and he goes to the press, they ask, "Are you signing the contract?" Every time Trent does well, "Are you signing the contract?" Even Salah has gone to the press to speak to them that he wants to stay. They should just meet his demands and he's going to stay. But they are not trying to, because it looks like they are trying to get rid of him because of his age. It's like a ball thing, not a coach thing. So like there are noise, but in a way, Salah is also motivated to do well, even if it's his last season, or because it's going to be a win-win for him. Why? If he does well, he'll get a bigger contract in Saudi, and he's going to live on a high note. It's going to be they will love him
But
anyway.
that's the point I've been saying now,
Trent wants to
that
go to Real
these are
Madrid.
people that know character and know what it means. I may not know
Yeah,
about the contract issue, but and that's what this thing you are saying is what I'm expecting from Marcus Rashford. Sometimes there are some things you have to keep in your heart. If Salah does very well this year, winning the Premier League or both, trust me, irrespective of his age, Juventus like to buy old players. A Juventus will be looking for him and will be ready to pay him somewhat, maybe not what he wants, but somewhere close. And he'll be happy to go to the biggest team in Italy. He's been in Italy before. They knows what it means to play there, and it will not be a problem. Or, like you said, he will go to Saudi and he'll be a mini crown prince there. They will make a statue of him. Mohammed Salah. The Egyptian prince.
he's the most Mohammed anyway. He's going to be the face of
Yeah,
the league,
so
you know.
these are the things. So, but clearly,
Yeah.
the problems, if we can call it a problem, has not distorted what's happening in the team. And as a footballer, that's how to show your worth. As much as we did not like Balotelli in the past, the press comes talking about Balotelli, and he comes to the pitch, show them what he is made of, and continues. And that's football. You need to, as a footballer, you need to speak your angers in the pitch.
Okay. So one thing that we don't really talk about Tottenham that much because they are not part of the teams that we cover. But the question is that, can they continue to play this way? It's like with Tottenham, you know how they are going to play. You know they are going to give you your high line. Even if they are leading 5-0, they will give you the high line. So if you are very good with counter attack, because look, let me tell you something about statistics that will shock you. Like, they had the most possessions, 52%, Tottenham. They allowed Liverpool to give them 24 shots, and Liverpool had 12 of them on target, which means the shots that they were getting were potent shots, shots that like are easy to get, because if you have 24 and 12 of them are on target, which means half of
Yeah,
them the keeper had to make a save, and which is Clearly impossible for that, and it's even your second keeper or third keeper anyway. So if you have made that keeper face 12 shots and he's letting six of them, it's not really his fault. So that's kind of football. It's like you are setting the players up for failure. But then the same Tottenham scored 3 goals. It's like that is the summation of Angie's system. It's like it's just open. Let's play basketball, football. Let's score. I score. If I have scored you, I win. If you have scored me, you win. Can they continue to play this way, coach?
So the problem with first as of today, with after what has happened in the weekend, I don't know the mental position that Fraser Foster has come into this game with, because he was horrendous against Manchester United. As a neutral, if I want to be a neutral, we will know that we were gifted a lot of goals. And as a player, these things have psychological impact. In fact, in the weeks ahead, the only way you can get it out of your head is to deliver. So letting 2 goals go in and letting 6 goals in today, I don't know where his mental state is going to be right now. And it looks like there will be more goals. Also, during the week, some of the assignments used to give us to so that we have a lot of information. We've talked about like Tottenham, even before the FA Cup match, they were doing analysis about both clubs. And, there was the last recap of um, Conte when he talked about Tottenham as a club, that the mindset of Daniel Levy needs to change, because it looks like you want the best out of the club, but you're okay with whatever you have. It almost looks like Daniel Levy, as long as Tottenham can go to the Champions League every year, he's fine. You know, but you cannot be in the shadows of Arsenal, a London club, when you have the opportunities to be better than them. You are a club that you are ready to pay money. You are a club that are ready to, bring creativity. But when it matters most, Tottenham just slips off. So, and this is the question you're asking. So, currently, the mental position of the goalkeeper, first, I don't understand. And as a team, we're talking about teams and issues. There's the Timo Werner issues. Him not playing well, him not training well. Even when he has to play, he's not giving his best. And this is a player that they practically went all out to sign, thinking that when he was on loan he did all his best and all that stuff. So when you are a club bedeviled with some of these distractions, it can be damning on the team. But like Tottenham, trust me, I think they are next to Arsenal in terms of inconsistency. It's just that they win games you don't expect them to win, and they lose games that you think that they are going to put in a fight. So I don't think they will just remain what they are. That social media slang. They are who we say they are. Tottenham.
Okay. But the one thing about them is that they know how to score. So do you know what saddens me? This same team, same players, with how good they are going forward, a coach will come, bring the high line back like 2 meters or 3 meters, and it will look like he is the best manager in the world. Because now they will not be conceding as much as they are doing now. And even if they make a goal or two, they'll be winning games, just like Liverpool's coach has done. He's brought the high line back a bit, now told them to focus more on short passes instead of the long passes that they do. They should mix it up. They used to do a lot of, and long passes are high risk, high reward
Yeah.
passes. You could lose the ball easily and it could be a turnover and all that. But now he has just brought the high line back a bit, put some controls on the team, and then they are playing like the best team ever. They scored Real Madrid, everyone is like suffering against them. But Ange is clear this guy doesn't want to change. His interviews is clear. This is how I play. And he says that every second season in his life, he wins a trophy. So now they are in the semi-final. So maybe he could deliver a trophy or something. But clearly, I don't think they can continue like this. But let's put Tottenham aside. We don't like them anyway on
Yeah,
this
but
platform.
really,
So let's continue.
when we talk about
Okay.
the
So,
tactical part of football, let's not even talk about Tottenham. But let's even relate it to tactical side of football. If you have a strategy, you need to see if you have the resources to match the strategy. So I'm looking at Liverpool's defense. If Liverpool decides to play a high line today, you have Gomez who can run. Van Dijk, we know he doesn't have legs. But let's look at the central back of Tottenham. The only player there that can run is Spence. And Spence is very high up the field.
Mhm.
So when you are being attacked, who is going? Is it Gray? Gray cannot run. He's a lazy player. So and Poro has physical strength, but he also can run. Or the other guy is there. So clearly, and you're playing against Liverpool. So when you talk about the stubbornness of a coach trying to stick to his tactics, sometimes you need to tweak based on your opponent. You are playing against Luis Diaz. You are playing against Mohamed Salah. Even at his age, Mohamed Salah still runs faster than some defenders. We know he's full of pace. And you have Gapo. Gapo is not as fast, but tactical. So if you're playing a high line, just know that you will be outrun. Clearly. And we only don't know how this has happened. It should have probably been more goals if they played that high line, because even with a deep block, Mohamed Salah has
Yeah.
been beating defenses.
Okay, so coming back to Liverpool, is it a wrap? Should we all go and sleep? Because these guys are clearly winning the league. Because they are 5 points or 4 points. Let me be clear about the
Four
points that they
points is
are
4 points.
now above Chelsea. 4 points above with one game in hand. And we are almost in Christmas. We know this rule in Christmas. It's only Arsenal that keeps. Arsenal is the only team that whenever they are on top in Christmas, they don't win the league. Apart from Arsenal, every other team, when they are on top in Christmas, they win the league. Are they winning the league? Is it a wrap for everyone now?
It's the Premier League. If it has happened to Arsenal a couple of times, it means it can happen to anybody. As much as Chelsea would never want to agree that they are not in the title race, football is about pressure. It's only in Spain that you are 2 points ahead and you say, oh, I think it's a wrap, or 3 points ahead. In England, 10 points is nothing. In England, 10 points, there's still next week will be 18, half the journey. There's a full other half. All you need to do is lose 3 matches and the next guy is under, win 3 matches, and you're out of the race. If Man U, for example, to bring Man U into the equation, imagine Man U had won this match, they would leap from 13th to 6th. That's how the Premier League works. All you need is one team being consistent and you being inconsistent. Manchester City started this weekend on 5th position. As we speak right now, they are on 7th position. That is the Premier League for you. Chelsea has looked like the team. Today has not gone in the favor result-wise. I was expecting, because of the opponent, I was expecting that it was going to be a run over. Well, there are a lot of games, rotation, fatigue, all those things that happen. That's the beauty of the Premier League. I think all those things have a tone on each time. I expected 2 or more goals in the Fulham game. I expected 2 or more goals in the Chelsea game. But see, we went all flat, not even a goal. Manchester United gave us goals, but one team refused to score. So with Liverpool, the only way I can say they would win the league is they don't get key players injured. And that's just it. If they have 2 strikers injured or 1 striker underperforming, it may just close them down. But, well, we'll come
But
back
this,
in January to discuss this
let's
title.
not
I
forget.
wouldn't say it's a wrap up.
Let's not forget. Let's not forget. They are one of the teams, apart from Chelsea, that has 2 players in all those attacking positions. Everyone has a backup. Every single one. Apart from maybe the defense, even the defense, left back, 2. If it's only Van Dijk that I'm sure we cannot replace him in the team. Even the keeper, they have 2 keepers who are
Yeah.
equally good. They have 2, like, right backs, left back, in the midfield, attacking midfield,
Oh,
defensive
Allison
midfield.
is Allison is
Look,
actually back.
on the
I did
left
not
side.
realize Allison is back. Allison is back.
Yes, yes. That's how good they are. That is how good they are now. Like, it's like people keep mentioning Chelsea, 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 but they are also a team that can equally change the whole 11 and bring another 11, and they will be equally as good. Because and this coach is really rotating too. He makes everyone play. Diaz scored today, but Gapo has been playing for some
Yeah.
time now. Like, they have Nunes has been playing. Like, the attack, apart from Salah, who's always starting, they always change the other 2 every single time. And even on the right back, he changes sometimes. The left back, he changes sometimes. Like the midfield, maybe Gravenberg. So maybe we say
There's
Gravenberg,
Elliot.
Van Dijk, Salah. These 3 people, if these 3 maybe they get hurt, it might really cost them. But apart from these 3, the rest, everyone is replaceable, and that's how good the team is now. So that's why I think it might be that they will slip up a bit, but I don't think anyone is capable of taking the league from these
Well,
guys.
there's
That's
still
how I
let's
feel.
see how it goes. I think maybe we'll start having this conversation when the FA Cup starts, and if they are
Yeah.
top of the league by the end of January, personally, I'll give it to them because
Mm,
the pressure in maintaining the league is between December and January. December with the fixtures, January when the FA Cup just starts. If they go out of the FA Cup by accident they do, then there's nothing to fight for. Because sometimes more tournaments have a way of, sometimes even the players don't know where to concentrate on.
yeah.
So let's give an example. They are top of the Champions
Yeah.
League. It means that they will not play football till like March because the knockouts for Champions League will start in February. So by then they do the two-legged knockouts and all that stuff. So being on top of the Champions League is an advantage because they will not play till March. So they are playing the round of eight, round of 16 and all that stuff. So it gives them breather. If they have the FA Cup, like you said, they have a team that they can, they have Kwanzaa, you have Endo, you have Curtis Jones, you have all those guys around to maybe take the pressure on the cup tournament. If end of January they are still there, then there is no need to debate. The rest of us should just be looking for a second upward for this season.
Okay, okay. So it's been fun. Today was not about tactics, it was about talking about the teams, understanding what's going on and all that. It was fun. It was a fun conversation. And I'm sure you also enjoyed it, you that you are listening or whoever is watching us on YouTube as well. Thank you so much for coming by, and next week as well we'll bring you the same kind of content. Thank you so much. Remember to subscribe, remember to leave your comment as well.
Merry
Thank you.
Christmas,
Bye bye.
guys. Big ups.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Bye.